that were not alive during that attack. They weren't born yet. And if we don't teach them the history, they're not going to know what happened on September 11th, 2001. You're going to get these wonderful little young females and males who are going to call a presidential candidate who wants to protect the people of the United States a racist simply because they want to put a halt, not a permanent halt, but a temporary halt to the immigration of Muslims from areas that are known to contain terrorists that have attacked this country. That's, Mr. President, is not a long memory. That's a very short, ignorant memory. And you people on the left have seen to it that Americans have short memories. Now, if you think that this whole notion with Hollywood just pumping out, entertainment piece after entertainment, that's not by accident, folks. And I'm not going to say, Rod believes in this giant conspiracy. No, I'm not saying it's a conspiracy. But understand that the American people are being purposefully distracted. Do you understand what I'm saying? We're being purposefully distracted. Now, this happens every single time, just about over the past, 70 years or so. It happens whenever a certain group of people, liberals, Democrats, notice that they're losing grip on power. They want to distract you from the fact that they're not in power. And they have been so effective this time that Americans have elected, Republicans hand over fist. I mean, it just everywhere. But they've gotten people so distracted that the Republican leadership thinks that they don't have power, which is a bunch of BS. So you got people. I bet you that girl that said Donald Trump was a racist probably could tell you all the Kardashian girls' names. She probably couldn't tell you the last time, other than maybe out in California when there was a terrorist attack in this country. But she could tell you all the Kardashian names. How much you want to bet? I don't even know. I don't even know all the. Who are the Kardashians anyway? I mean, I know I know their dad was an O.J. Simpson. He was an O.J. Simpson lawyer, the Dream Team. But I don't, and he died fairly young. I don't even remember what he died of. But it's what? Not all the girls. Some of the girls are Bruce's daughters, right? I don't know. I just don't know how they got famous for being famous. I'm still trying to figure that one out. I don't. Frankly. Yes. I don't know what, if young men actually think that Kim Kardashian is the sign and is the epitome of beauty, it's not. I'm sorry, I said it when I meant to say, well, I'm going to be nice. Kim Kardashian is not what I would put down in a beauty book as being beautiful. She's not. And I know some people say, well, what do you want? You just like those skinny, mini, twiggy type of girl. No, look, Marilyn Monroe was a beautiful woman. Kim Kardashian is not. Yeah, I don't, and maybe it's just because of her personality that I find her so unattractive. That's probably, I suppose, well, I don't, without all that makeup on, I see most guys don't like all that. Girls, here's a little bit of a tip for you. Most guys, especially the kind of guy that you say that you want, most guys do not like women who cake on the makeup. They want one of two things. We like a little bit to highlight your features. Little makeup, or it looks like you're wearing very little makeup. Because we want to see the real you. We don't want to see this. We don't want to see one thing in the light, and then in the morning when you wake up, there's something totally we don't even know who you are because you normally wear so much makeup that covers everything. We don't see your real face. We don't like that. Guys don't like it. And I don't know where girls get this notion that they're supposed to put on, just cake this crap on all the time. Most guys will tell you, no, they don't like a lot of makeup. And I find it interesting because, women are kind of the opposite. Evidently, what has happened over the past 10 years, I don't know why, but over the past 10 years, it seems like women prefer men with facial hair. Where before, this started about 10 years ago, but before then, women preferred clean-shaven men. But now all of a sudden, I guess girls prefer guys with a little bit of facial hair. They got like guys with beards and the stubble and everything. I don't know. And I can't explain why we're attracted to as human beings, why we're attracted to what we're attracted to. It could be trends, but it has always been the case that men have preferred women with little makeup. Just saying, just a little bit of dating tips for all you single ladies out there. You want to attract the guys more, and all your friends, your single girlfriends are out there, they're caking on the makeup. Why don't you cut back on the makeup and see if you don't get a little bit more attention than they do? I bet you will. Even if you're not the best looking one of the bunch, I bet you will get more attention. Just saying. Because, I notice ladies that have that appear to have a little makeup on. And I do notice those who it definitely appears like they cake it on, and all I can think of is Tammy Faye Baker. And if you don't know who that is, just Google her. Please. But that's, I know some people are saying, what does that have to do with the SOTU, Rod? Look, this is for those of you who are new, and I know that there are a bunch of new people listening right now, understand what this program is about. Politics, yes. It's about current events as well, and it's also about pop culture. And all three of those things, people, are intertwined. And if you think that they're not, you better think again. You better take a look around you and see how all three of those things are intertwined, and they run around in the same circle. If you go out there, how else do you start calling the president a rock star? I mean, you get celebrities in Hollywood that hangs out with a bunch of usually Democrats out in Washington, D.C., and Washington, D.C., a lot of times they'll go out to Hollywood and hang out with, they hang out with each other. Understand, politics and pop culture is intertwined. They're not separate. Because a lot of times what you'll see when you've got some sort of... remember The West Wing? I know some of you probably never watched it. The West Wing was a TV show about a president. A liberal president. And it was during the time when George W. Bush was president. George W. Bush was not a liberal. So you cannot possibly tell me that Washington politics is not intertwined with entertainment, because it always has been throughout the history of mankind. Go back and look at Shakespeare. That was about politics of the day. But he had to be careful to sort of make his political statements not to appear like they were about the politics of his home country of England. He was talking about his own country, but he made the characters from another country. And that was okay. But it was still pop culture back then. Shakespeare was pop culture of that day, but he was also in politics. It's always been intertwined. And I know some people are just sitting there, how is he making that analogy? Well, simple. Just read Shakespeare. Read it. not hard to see the political statements that William Shakespeare was making. Not at all. We've got the same thing here today. We've got Hollywood that is constantly trying to make a political statement about something, especially with global warming, for instance. How many movies have we had that were total disaster movies based on climate change? What's that Ben Affleck thing where what changed what was the Ben Affleck movie that changed everybody's notion of what global warming was? Oh, yeah, global warming. It was so bad that it caused all the polar ice caps to melt, which then cooled off the ocean so much that it stopped the jet streams of the oceans, of the currents, and then we had this giant polar vortex, and man entered an ice age. So somehow we got global warming led to man-made ice age. Somehow, global warming led to man-made ice age. And this is the type of circular reasoning that these people have always had. But this is what they're putting out there in movies and in television programs. They're espousing the liberal left ideology and throwing it out there in entertainment, and people are absorbing this entertainment, and then they're starting to think, well, now that they're enlightened and they know everything there is to know about the political side of these topics because they saw it in a movie. Do not tell me that Hollywood, that entertainment, that pop culture is not intertwined with politics and current events. I mean, you used to have this movie of the week that was based on some current event, usually a murder or a mass murder or something, and how they dramatize it. Look what we got, the movie Concussion with Will Smith. Now, I guarantee you that the real life happening of all of that all that understanding of the concussion problem and that disease of NFL players was not that dramatic. But now it is a drama, and it is a major motion picture with an A-list star, and people are going to believe that that's exactly how it happened. And that the movie, no matter how off or wrong it might be, or how much, artistic license they have taken, but they are going to believe that it is like a documentary. And they are going to look to their politicians and their civic leaders and say, well, I saw the movie, and that's terrible. Why aren't you doing anything about it? But the movie could be all wrong. It could be full of dramatic license. But people are going to take it as reality. So do not tell me that we do not have a conflux between politics, current events, and pop culture / whatever, entertainment. It's all there together. That's what this program is about. And for those of you who think, and I don't know how you can possibly think that it's not, that I somehow got it wrong. Well, I don't know. You better think again. Because I sure don't have it wrong. I mean, this is... we are being bombarded daily by pop culture interpreting current events and politics. And politics is relying on that pop culture and current events to decide what political policy that we should have. And it just feeds off of each other. And then one day we wake up and say, wait a minute, am I living in a movie? All right, look, I like the movie Home Alone, but the reality is that if somebody took that kind of punishment, they'd probably be dead. But you've got people out there who think that the human body can actually withstand all that stuff that they withstood in that movie. And that those criminals are going to be so friendly. Yeah, better wake up.